I switched from ChatGPT to Claude about a year ago. After trying Claude to write some text, I was very impressed by how it could sound less like AI and more like me. In this video, I'm walking you through everything. The features that a lot of people don't even know exist. I'll talk about how to set it up for an online business and how to migrate from ChatGPT without losing anything. Here is what surprised me about Claude. It isn't just one tool. It's actually 4 powerful tools that work together. You've got Claude Chat, where you can do writing, research, strategy work. Then there is Claude for Chrome, a browser extension that automates tasks on any website. Claude Cowork runs on your actual computer. It can organize files and manage your workflows. And with Claude Code, you can build custom tools even if you don't know how to code. These all connect to each other, which is what makes Claude so powerful for everyone. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds complicated, but it's not. Let me show you. For most people, it starts with Claude Chat. At least I spend most of my time in chat. This is where you can ask it to do some research to help you work on your texts, create content strategies, and so on. But the real power of Claude comes from 2 features which I wish I would discover sooner: projects and skills. Think of projects like this. When you create a project, you give Claude its own memory for different areas of your business. For example, you do need to have your brand voice, your target audience, and your business model. And you need Claude to respect those in every script or every text that it creates for you. But you don't have to explain it every time, because if you created all of it inside one project, then Claude remembers everything. So I have separate projects for different parts of my business. One for my YouTube content, one for my blog posts, one for my Pinterest strategy, and one for email marketing. Each project knows exactly what it needs to know, and I never have to repeat myself. Let me show you how this actually works. So here you have a field for your detailed instructions for this project. And here you can also upload files and documents that will give Claude all the context that it needs to keep consistency within this project. For me, what I did, I copied a bunch of my own previous scripts from all the videos to show Claude my personal style and tone. So when I use it to help me create some copy, it sounds and it thinks like me. For your online business, it could be maybe some files that Claude should always reference. Maybe your brand guidelines, examples of your best content, customer research, whatever you want Claude to always have access to. Now, here is the difference between projects and skills, because this confused me at first a little bit. Projects just give Claude memory, and skills give Claude the ability to actually do things. Skills are your reusable workflows. You can teach Claude how to do a specific task once, you can save it as a skill, and from that point forward, Claude can execute the task automatically whenever it is relevant. For example, I have a skill for writing a blog post from a script that I first made for a YouTube video. It knows my voice, my structure, it knows the topics that I cover, and even which affiliate links to include in those blog posts. To create a skill, you will just have a simple conversation with Claude about your workflow. It will ask you a few questions that will help it better understand what you need here to be done, and then Claude turns that conversation into a repeatable process. You click Save, and you've just created your first own skill. Next time you ask Claude to do this task, you just type / and choose your skill. And you don't need to describe all the requirements over and over again. The skill is just loaded. And let me tell you about a resource that is going to save you weeks of setup time with Claude. HubSpot just released a free guide called The Complete Guide to Claude AI. Revolutionize the way you work. And it's the resource that helped me so much. HubSpot kindly sponsored this part of the video, but I just had to show you this resource anyway. It will show you everything, how to set up projects properly and how you can create interactive dashboards and documents with artifacts. I will talk about artifacts a bit later in the video, by the way. You will also learn about the new adaptive thinking feature in Claude Opus 4.6 that automatically adjusts how deeply it reasons based on your task. My favorite section here is part 3 with real-world applications. For example, you can see here how to use Claude as your executive assistant, or how to change your content marketing workflow, or how you can analyze data even if you are not a data scientist. Inside this guide, you will also find prompts that you can literally copy and paste to get started immediately. Anything like prompts for your morning briefing, for creating content, and prompts that will help you build interactive dashboards. Check the link to the guide in the description below. It's completely free and it's going to save you weeks of trial and error. Pause the video, download it, and then come back and keep watching. Okay, now let's talk about one of my favorite features, and I use it all the time. Artifacts. I used Claude for 2 months before I ever discovered artifacts even existed. Here is what makes them special. When you ask Claude to create something, say a document, a flowchart, an interactive dashboard, it generates it in a dedicated side panel. This means that you can keep making changes without losing your work in the chat scroll. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to ask Claude to create a content calendar artifact for my blog. I will give it my topic focus, my publishing schedule, and ask it to include space for title ideas, featured image concepts, and keyword targets. Watch what happens. Claude creates this interactive document on the right side. Now I can chat on the left to make some changes. For example, add a column for sponsor opportunities. In a few minutes, I can check this additional column with real brands that could be relevant for every single post. Now I'll say add a notes section for research links. And we can see the new field and some added information here. Then I can click Publish, copy a link to this artifact, and share it with someone on my team. And that person can edit and customize this artifact on their end too. This is how I plan all my content now. It's just one artifact that I keep updating. Everything stays organized in one place. And you can create all sorts of things with artifacts. Landing pages, expense trackers, customer onboarding flows, interactive graphics, anything that you can imagine. You can simply talk to Claude and create it without a single line of code. Again, I already mentioned that you can share these artifacts with your team, you can download them, and they will keep the version history. Now let's talk about Claude in Chrome, because this is where things get really practical for online business owners like me. It's a browser extension, super simple to install. You just go to the Chrome Web Store, search for Claude, and connect it to your account. Once it's installed, Claude sits in a side panel. It can see whatever you're looking at in your browser. It knows what website you're on and what you're doing. And here is a real example from last week. Let's say I'm doing competitor research. I will open up a competitor's website, click the Claude extension and say, analyze the messaging on this landing page. What are they emphasizing? What is their main offer? Claude reads the page, extracts everything, and gives me a breakdown. And here's where Claude Chrome really saved me hours. I used Claude Chrome for the most annoying tasks that used to waste my time. For example, I'm sure all of you watching this have this problem. My inbox is full of spam and promotional emails that I don't even open. Claude Chrome actually had this as a suggested task with a very detailed and smart prompt. Seriously, you should also install it and use this suggestion. So I had Claude Chrome go through my inbox and unsubscribe me from promotional emails based on what I received in the past 2 weeks. Now, before you panic, of course, it didn't unsubscribe me without my approval. It first showed me a list of what is planned to be on this unsubscribe list, and I mentioned what I prefer to keep, and then Claude showed me the plan. It will actually open each email, find the unsubscribe link, and click on it. I just watched it do a couple of these actions to record this screen share for you, just to make sure that it works well. And then I went back to working on my video that you're watching right now, while Claude kept cleaning up my inbox in the other tab. Can I just say that felt amazing? And this comes with your Claude subscription, no extra charge. Okay, so Claude Chrome handles the browser, but what about everything on your actual computer? That's where Cowork comes in. Claude Cowork is different because it doesn't work in your browser. It works on your actual computer, and it doesn't only reply to you like Claude Chat. It actually acts on your behalf. It can open apps, organize files, pull information from multiple places on your computer, and you can even set it to run on a schedule so that the task can happen automatically. So here's a real example from my workflow. I added to Cowork one of my old presentations and uploaded the text of my recent video about Pinterest for print-on-demand sellers. And then I said, this is my old presentation in PowerPoint. I have the script attached for how to use Pinterest for print-on-demand. I want you to create slides in the same style as my old presentation for this, based on this new script. I recorded my screen so you can see the whole process that it went through. But with Cowork, I didn't have to be at my screen at all. It would manage this whole task without any involvement from me anyway. See, this is the result. I can open the presentation in this folder and it looks just like my previous presentation in terms of the colors, the style, and the structure, but it has this new different content. Think about it for a second. How much time do you spend recreating things that you've already done before? Something like client proposals, reports, presentations, and you have all this history sitting on your computer. And it could be teaching AI how to work like you. And here is something that I do every week that used to take me forever. Every time when I finish filming a YouTube video, I need to turn it into a blog post for my website. So I used to sit there rewriting everything, changing the tone from "Hey guys" to proper blog writing, adding section headers, finding places to add my affiliate links. Now I just tell Cowork, take this video script from my YouTube folder, turn it into a blog post in my writing style, add headers and my standard affiliate links, and then save it in my blog drafts folder. And Cowork does all of it, and the blog post is sitting there ready for me just to review and click publish. If you stack enough of these tasks together, then you get entire afternoons back. And because the big idea with AI isn't doing the work yourself, it's setting up systems that work while you're doing something else. Now, the next one is for anyone who has ever thought, I wish I could build that, but I don't know how to code. Someone like me. Claude Code is for building custom tools, and you don't even need to know how to code. You describe what you want in plain English, and Claude builds it for you. You can build websites, automations, calculators, dashboards, anything you can think of. If you can explain what you want, Claude can build it. Instead of paying a developer thousands of dollars to build something that kind of fits, Claude builds exactly what you need. And if it's not right, you can just say, change this, add this, fix that, and Claude does it for you. This is the same power that professional developers can use, except that you are using here plain English language instead of code. What makes this even better is that all those tools live in the same place. I use Chat for writing and ideation, I use Chrome for research, I use Cowork for automation, and I use Code to build custom tools. They all can work together, and you can build complete workflows that handle entire projects from start to finish. Now you might be thinking, I've spent months teaching ChatGPT my voice and my business, and I don't want to start over. But the good news here is that you don't have to. It takes just a couple of minutes to move everything over to Claude. Just go into Claude settings, click Capabilities, then click Important Memory from an AI provider. Claude gives you a prompt that you can copy, and then you go into ChatGPT or whatever other AI tools you're using, paste that prompt, and it will export everything that it knows about you. Your preferences, your context, how you work, and then you can copy that output, go back to Claude, and paste it in. Click Add to Memory, and you're done. Everything that your old AI learned about you is now in Claude. Your writing style, your business context, all of it. And here is something that saves me so much time with client work. You can go to Connectors and link your Google Drive. I'm sure you have a folder with your past proposals or client deliverables that got you great results. So the ones that clients said you yes or gave you amazing feedback on, and you can tell Claude to just look at these past proposals and ask what structure do I use, what sections do I always include, and ask Claude to create a template that you can reuse. Claude will build you a custom template based on your successful work, not some generic template from the internet. And now, when you need to write a new proposal, you're not starting from scratch. And the same thing works for anything. Email sequences that you've written, sales pages that converted well, onboarding documents that clients loved. For me, it works for my successful YouTube video scripts. Claude learns from what you've already proven to work. So here's what I want you to try this week. Pick just one task that you do every week that takes you at least 30 minutes. Just one. Maybe it's writing your newsletter, maybe it's creating social media captions, organizing your content ideas, and then set up a project in Claude for that one task. Give it your examples, your style, your rules. And then next week, time yourself doing that same task with Claude's help. I bet you will cut the time at least in half, or maybe more. Come back and tell me in the comments, what task did you choose? How much time did you save? Because once you see that it works for one thing, you will start thinking, wait, what else could I automate? And that's when it gets really fun. If you want to know what are the most in-demand AI skills for this year, then check my video linked up there. I'll see you in that next one.